like to give you a small intro to array methods that you can use to fill up an array with integers, starting from 0 up to however big you want them to go. I'm going to show you 4 different ways. The first is using a new array. The second is using array from. The third is using a spread into an array. And the fourth method will be a for loop. I'm going to put each of these methods inside of another array to make them easier to run. Let's start with a new array. Each method will take in as the maximum index we want to create for the array. So on this one we'll do new array. We'll allocate in spaces for it, fill it with undefined, and use map to get the index and then pass that back to the array. For array from, we'll start it off the same way, and we'll use array.from and pass it an object that is array-like, so this can have a length, and the length will be in, and then from there we can use map again. Actually, map's used internally, but we can get that index and pass it back. Then we'll use spread, so start off the same way. This time we'll spread an array of insides, and we will use its keys to fill in the indexes. And finally we have a for loop. We'll make an array to hold the results. We'll make our for loop. It goes until in. And for each iteration of the loop, we're going to push the index. And in the end, we need to return that result array. Now that we've got that, let's make a small test and a large test. We'll hard code the indexes we want to use for each. So the small test can use a max index of 5, and the big end index can be 5 million. Alright, we've got our methods in that array, so we can loop through each one. We'll get the method, and then we will console log the result of running it, passing in the small index. Okay, I'm using Node version 20 for these tests, and let's see what that outputs. Okay, you see we've got our 4 methods running, and each one looks identical to the last. Let's make a function to run our tests. We'll call it run tests, and that will take in the method we want to use. Then we'll start a timer, call it test timer, end the timer after we run our method. And we're calling this with the big index, so we're going to run it 5 million times and see how long that took. We can use that same way to run each of the tests by using for each, passing it the method, and then calling run test with the method. Let's see how fast this goes. The fastest was the for loop. Let's see if we were just doing it 5 times, would there be much of a difference? And what would that difference be? Let's run that again. On the shorter test, the third method was the fastest, which is spreading into the array here.